you feel like Olandria and Nick's relationship is real?
Again, from the last conversation that I've had with, Nick, it was a matter of it's not a romantic spark.
The Nicolandria Takedown, how Ace Greene fumbled the biggest bag in Love Island, USA history. Hey, grab your iced coffee, because this saga deserves nothing less than a front row seat. What started as a shady podcast comment spiraled into the reality TV equivalent of psychological warfare. And spoiler alert, Ace Greene is not coming out of this one looking like a mastermind. Let's rewind, fast forward, and replay the receipts. Ace Greene sat down with journalist Speedy Mormon, and instead of giving us the usual reality star fluff, he decided to go nuclear.
Do you feel like Olandria and Nick's relationship is real? Is this you thinking, or is this your answer? I'm going to assume that that's your answer.
Mm-hmm.
Is that tough for you because Olandria is someone that you consider to be a close friend?
Yeah, it really is tough for me because, again, she just came out here for Shelly's birthday, and we all spent a time together at the club, and we all kicking and shit like that, so I have a lot of respect for Olandria. But, again, from the last conversation that I've had with, Nick, it was a matter of it's not a romantic spark. They just, you know what I'm saying? They find each other attractive.
Nick and Olandria's relationship, you've expressed in silence, you've expressed your opinions on that.
Mm-hmm.
Do you think that the other relationships that have come from Love Island are real?
Yeah, Taylor and Clark, I know that's for sure real.
And the other ones, not so much, or?
This wasn't a slip of the tongue. Oh no, it was choreographed chaos. He strutted into that interview playing moral compass of reality TVE, preaching about integrity and authentic relationships. But then the mask fell. He claimed Nick Van Steinberg confessed there's no romantic spark with Olandria Carthen, weaponizing a so-called private conversation like a Bond villain monologuing before pressing the detonate button. Now let's face it, he dropped these bombshells just as Nicolandria was riding their biggest wave of post-Villa success. Magazine spreads, brand deals, fan campaigns. The timing was no accident. It was sabotage with glitter on top. While Ace was catching all the flames, Taylor Williams sat in the corner sipping his metaphorical tea. No tweets, no defenses, just silence. But silence is loud most times, Fans noticed the strategy. Let Ace torch his own reputation while Taylor reaps the benefits of doubt cast on Nicolandria. It's the same game he played in the Villa, no switching sides, avoiding accountability, and always landing just safe enough to survive eliminations. Politically savvy? Maybe. Cowardly? Definitely. And the selective nature of Ace's attack? He vouched for Taylor and Clark's romance as real.
Yeah, Taylor and Clark, I know that's for sure real.
And the other ones, not so much, or?
While tearing down Nicolandria, the bias is screaming. Let's not forget, Ace wasn't exactly Nicolandria's #1 fan in the Villa. He treated Olandria as a chess piece to remove, not a friend. He plotted eliminations, rallied alliances, and openly called her a threat to his own standing. When those schemes backfired and his manipulations got exposed, he doubled down on bitterness instead of moving on with dignity. What we're seeing now isn't new. It's Season 7 Ace, just rebranded with a podcast mic instead of an elimination vote. Here's the real tea. Olandria's post-show rise left Ace in the dust. She went from target to the it girl of Love Island, USA, landing magazine covers, major partnerships, and a fan base that treats her like family. Meanwhile, Ace only trends when he's stirring drama. The contrast is brutal. She's thriving. He's thirst posting. For someone who sees success as a zero-sum game, her shine clearly burned his ego. When the accusations hit, Nicolandria didn't scream, didn't drag, didn't play Ace's game. They gave a polite shrug, what fans dubbed major side-eye energy. Nick opened up about the emotional toll, showing honesty and vulnerability. Olandria, pure grace. No theatrics. No messy retorts, just living their lives like the power couple they are. Their fan base only grew stronger, forming a protective wall around them while Ace looked more desperate by the day. This isn't just reality TV beef, there's a cultural layer. Olandria, as a black woman, has always faced harsher scrutiny, online trolls, and endless questions about her authenticity. Instead of easing that burden, Ace piled on, feeding negativity into a system already rigged against her. Fans caught it immediately. This wasn't just shade. It was another example of how black women in entertainment get undermined even when they're winning. That's why Nicolandria's supporters came out in full force, not just as stans, but as protectors of something bigger than villa gossip.
I really see men yearning for women in this day and age. And then with him being a fair-skinned male and I'm a dark-skinned female, but seeing me being loved out loud resonated with a lot of people in my community. It's like, oh, this is beautiful. Like dark-skinned black woman being yearned for and loved out loud by someone that looks like Nick. It's like, this is beautiful. Like, this is like healing the world in a sense, because you don't see this often, especially not in real time.
As if dismantling Nicolandria wasn't enough, Ace also threw producers under the bus. He claimed Taylor was forced by production to pursue Olandria, painting her as manipulated and describing her in terms so demeaning fans were livid.
I didn't want to do the reunion, but the only thing I wanted to do was, look at people in their face and tell them my issues I have with them, clear some things up, and really stand on business. Throughout the entire time at the reunion, I feel like things still didn't, make the cut of, certain conversations that I had, clarification, and that is what it is. But honestly, bro, just being at the reunion, it was a little bit hard for me because, I face, anxiety, especially being out inside the villa and, people were like, oh, why is his voice a little shaky? Because honestly, bro, it's hard, like, dealing with it. Like, I felt some sort of depression, like, coming out because I'm such a positive person. I'm such a happy, loving person that I'm trying to spread that to everybody else, and to see that I was portrayed as something as the opposite of who I am as a person is tough to deal with, and that was my only fear going into this villa was, please just don't make me look like I'm just some evil ass nigga, respectfully. And
do you feel like that's exactly what happened?
Honestly, yeah, and it's okay, because at the end of the day, I know who I was, and the Islanders who were there knew who I was too. And then to come home and see I was called everything but the child of God, it's a little tough, Sure. But for me, I said the things I needed to say to certain people while everybody was in one room at the reunion. That's what I cared about. It wasn't for how the reunion was going to be portrayed. Here is where I really get my shit off, and really what I say is what I say, and what I meant is what I meant, and ain't gonna be no chopped and screw shit around here.
Well, here's your opportunity to be real.
That's not just drama. That's pulling the curtain back on the entire franchise. If true, it would wreck the credibility of Love Island USA's Season 7 storylines. If false, it's a dangerous smear designed to cheapen someone's emotional journey. Either way, it's chaos. Ace wanted relevance. What he got was backlash. Instead of trending as the brave truth teller, he's being roasted as a jealous instigator. Taylor's silence isn't fooling anyone. And Nicolandria, stronger, shinier, and more supported than ever. The lesson? You can try to dim someone's light, but when their glow comes from authenticity, no podcast shade is strong enough. Reality TV gives us drama. But this is textbook sabotage, and the Love Island fandom isn't here for it. I mean, if you liked this kind of video breakdown, hit the subscribe button and share it with a friend. Don't forget to leave a comment because I will be glad to them.
Like, I need to see the text between Ace and Taylor because, like, they're literally monitoring spirits. They're so bothered by Nick's new, like, clout. Like, I know, especially because Taylor and Ace are, like, fashion guys. So I know they're mad Nick is getting all these opportunities they wish they had. Like, their jealousy is so real. They might even start being friends with Sierra at this point because it's like they're trying to band together to, like, stop the program. But it's like, it's too late. Nicolandria is bigger than the program. So either it's even too late for you guys to try and make amends because we know who y'all are. Like, the fandom knows that Ace is fake, Taylor's fake, and their girlfriends along with them are weirdos that are all, like, bitter and jealous over Nick and Olandria. Because if it wasn't true, they wouldn't be going through all this messiness and all this trouble just to shit talk them and talk down on their relationship. Like, just do your own thing. But it's giving they're not getting enough brand deals, or they're not even getting any brand deals and collab to keep them busy. So they're just, like, bored and watching Nick and Olandria kill Fashion Week and getting all these brand deals, getting their bag up, becoming richer than them, and they're, like, mad about it. It's like the smart play would have been to stay friends with them and be on the good side of the internet. But now you just took the L. Now your brand deal's gonna tank, your clout gonna tank, and in a couple months y'all are gonna be irrelevant, like, except for Nick and Olandria, and that's just tea.